Hello and welcome to today's yoga journey. I'm Sonia and I'm going to do a series of short sequences, good for just considering a daily, just get your day going, get everything moving, get the kinks out and get your mind in that nice, calm, focused place for whatever the day might hold for you. So we will go ahead and get started in a child's pose. So finding your nice comfortable spot that you've set for yourself. If you do have sensitive knees, you might want to just get a little extra padding under there, whether it's an extra mat or a blanket, or maybe you've got nice thick carpet, or maybe you're outside in the sand or the grass, but just make sure you do take care of those knees. And make your way towards just settling into the floor, big toes touching, knees as wide apart as they need to be for you to feel comfortable. Forehead resting on the floor. Do walk those hands out far enough that you start to feel a little bit of a opportunity for some stretch and opening in the shoulders. And then just allow this to be your centering moments where you start connecting to feeling whatever's going on for your body, striving to let go in those straining, stiff parts, and tuning into that breath. Just nice, long, slow inhale. Nice, long, slow exhale. About 3 to 5 more breaths here, just really bringing that mind-body connection into play, perhaps cultivating an intention for yourself. And on the next breath, let's rise up to all fours, planting those hands on the floor, really grounding through them, building the strength in those arms. And once you feel like you've stabilized, starting to wake up that spine, coming into a few rounds of cat-cow, arching that spine up towards the floor as you dip your tail and crown to the floor. And then the crown and tail reach up for the sky as you dip your spine towards the earth. And without rushing, just really allow your spine to receive these stretches, but do a few more rounds like that. Breathing those nice, long, smooth breaths. One last one. And as you complete it and your back comes to its neutral place, let's go ahead and curl those toes and start floating those hips up into the air, lengthening those legs, lengthening the space between your wrists and your shoulders, and then drop those heels as low as they'll comfortably go. We're going to hold here for a handful of breaths. Do let that head be heavy, perhaps even very gently move it around, releasing any neck tension. And from here, let's go ahead and walk those feet towards our hands, moving towards a forward fold. Do listen to your knees. If they need to be bent, allow it. You want to allow your torso and your head to completely let go here. Arms are just dangling wherever they're comfortable. And again, a few of those really nice breaths. Maybe playing around with bending the knees a little bit more, straightening the legs a little bit more. But just doing everything mindfully enough that you're really feeling whatever it is there is to feel. And you're breathing into the tight spots. Last one, double checking your feet are firmly planted, your legs are strong so that you can roll yourself up towards standing. building your mountain pose. Couple nice breaths there, and then let's go ahead and bring those arms overhead, creating a nice extended mountain, nice full body stretch. Reaching those fingers as high as you can, but then reminding those shoulders to fall down. Feet stay firmly planted while we start moving into some side bends. So reaching those hands away from you, breathing into those side bodies. We're going to do a couple more on each side. Let's do one last one. And once you get back up to center and you're in that nice extended mountain, let's go ahead and turn it into a little bit of a back bend, allowing those arms to reach back a little further. Lift those eyes, lift those hearts, slide those shoulders down, and take a couple breaths here. As you come back to neutral in your extended mountain, starting to bend those knees, sinking that tailbone down towards the floor behind you, making your way into a chair pose. Breathing there for a couple of breaths. Powering up the legs, the whole body really. And then from there, let your hands start coming towards the floor, letting that back and head go, and determining how bent or straight your legs are most comfortable. Letting go. From here, we're going to rise halfway up. So coming to that place where you perhaps use your shins or the floor, and you're looking to create a nice right angle with your body. Strong, long back, neck in line with the rest of your spine. Couple of nice, long, smooth breaths there. Allowing your legs to start sinking back into that chair pose. Once your legs are strong and stable, rise those arms back up into your chair pose. Leaving the legs strong and stable, hands come together and slide them down to your heart, adding a nice twist. Hooking the elbow on the opposite thigh, using that leverage to draw your heart, trying to line your heart up with your hands. Couple of breaths. Unwinding and making your way to the second side. Unwinding. Once you're centered, let those hands go, let that torso go, and move to one more forward fold. Feel the back of the legs having a nice chance to open and stretch. Back is in that complete let go mode. Another couple of movements for the neck, perhaps. And then start planting those hands, walking back into another downward dog. Grounding, lengthening, stretching, strengthening. And from here, tuned into that core power as you, with control, start shifting your body so that your shoulders stack over your wrists and you're nice and long. Plank pose. Breathe there. Engage that core with your breath. Making our way to the floor. You could lower the knees if that's easier, but you're striving to put your heart right between those hands. Once you land on the floor, uncurl those toes, perhaps slide those hands a little further down so they're in line with your rib cage. And lift head, shoulders, and heart off the floor. Perhaps remove the pressure of the hands so that this is back strength, core strength. Breathing. As you release out of there, start re-engaging the grounded hands and float back up into your plank. We're going to add a side plank. So rolling onto the outside edge of one of your feet, stacking the other one on top, and opening up. Breathing. Looking for that control as you roll back through center and roll to the other side. Last plank. Give it a breath or two and then float those hips high, building one more downward dog. This time, let's go ahead and add a leg lift, turning it into a three-legged dog. Reaching that leg that's in the air, drawing the chest towards the standing thigh. Breath. Feel. That leg that's in the air, making its way towards a lunge. That foot that was in the air ends up right between your hands. Stabilize those feet, lengthen that back leg, and float the torso up, perhaps adding the reaching arms. Hands reaching up, heart lifting, pelvis sinking, breathing. Next exhale, float those hands down, restabilize those strong arms. That front foot floats back up into the air. One more three-legged dog, this time bending that leg, rolling that hip open. Breathe in. As you unravel, let that foot come down to meet the other one. There you are in your downward dog. Maybe you need to wiggle around for a moment. But once you get your wiggles out, restabilizing. And second leg up into the air. Making your way to your lunge. That foot comes all the way between the hands. Stabilize, lengthen, and then start reaching up. Sinking down. Playing with that a little bit. Feel the breath. Maybe even hear the breath. Next exhale, hands come down, arms become strong. Front foot goes back up into the air. This time bending and rolling it open. Unraveling, floating that foot down, sinking into your downward dog for another breath or two. Really feel those breaths, long, smooth, and deep. And then walk those hands back towards the feet, or the feet towards the hands, building one last forward fold. Coming to that halfway up place, long, strong back. Perhaps you're on shins, and we're gonna add a twist. So one arm's gonna go up into the air, then the opposite knee. Explore finding space. Explore where can I let go. Smooth transitions as we switch sides. Remembering to switch the bent knee. Reaching, breathing. Making our way back out to center. Nice, long, strong back. This time, starting to bend those knees, lift those heels, sink down into a nice squat. So either you could stay here with the heels high, or you could play around with putting the soles of your feet on the floor. Either way, just looking to let that whole pelvis sink down towards the floor. And even though there's some natural curve happening in the back, thinking about open heart, maybe adding the reaching arms. Making your way towards sitting on the floor Once your seat is grounded, pick those feet up off the floor, and let's come into one boat pose. Either supporting the legs, straight or bent is fine, or you could have the hands out to the side, lifting that heart. Breathing, feeling your core power, softening into it. As you gently let those legs come towards the floor, let's reach those arms up in the air. Nice staff pose. Feet are activated, and we'll take one nice seated forward fold. Bowing over those legs, letting that head go, walking those fingertips forward. And a few really nice, long, smooth breaths. As we start to bring the torso back towards upright, let's slide those feet in, scooch our butts closer to the heels so we can roll down, relishing in the support of the floor and the earth for a moment, planting those feet, letting the back relax for a moment, and then tuning into that spine control, peeling the tailbone off the floor, and then every vertebrae after it until you're as high off the floor as your body will let you. Abdominal area gets to open up. All those organs get to receive extra breath, become a little more energized. Head is relaxed. See if you can feel the rising and falling in that belly. Maybe visualize those organs receiving breath. As you roll down, kind of massaging that spine. And once your back is settled onto the floor, let's draw those knees in, wrap our arms around our legs, giving ourselves a little squeeze, partly in just a loving gesture for ourselves, but also to squeeze out any last minute kinks that might still be there, and rolling around a little bit. Just kind of massaging the low back and the sacrum. And once you feel like you're ready to come back to a more centered place, release those arms, and we'll go ahead and take one little nice recline twist on each side, letting the knees fall to one side, letting your eyes go the other way. A few of those nice big breaths, smooth, deep and slow as you can get. But most importantly, witnessing the breath, feeling it, hearing it. Smooth transition, making our way to the second side. And as you complete that and you roll yourself back towards center, let's lengthen those legs, lengthen those arms, just a really nice full body stretch, big giant breath, and then just let go. Perhaps right in that position, maybe you'd rather have your arms down by your sides and not necessarily staying here a super long time, unless of course that's what's next for you. But just at least giving yourself a couple of moments to absorb the energy that you just cultivated and moved. And using these couple of moments to set the tone for what's next. Gathering the bits that you need or want to take with you. So you could, of course, stay here. Or if you're going to move into a next activity, I would invite you to just at least get up nice and gently, transition nice and slowly rather than leaping up. And seal your time that you just gave for yourself by perhaps bringing your hands together at your heart and just honoring yourself, your practice, your journey, perhaps giving some thanks, sending some blessings, and again, just acknowledging that life force energy as you take a last couple of conscious breaths. Namaste. I hope to see you again.